We're here at Supanova Expo in Perth talking to Grant Imahara. How are you going?
I'm going good, thank you.
Thank you very much for talking to us. You having a good time in Perth?
Oh yeah, fantastic. I had a walk around Kings Park, went down to the ocean.
It is a lot more exciting in summer. I will give you that.
I'm told the weather is not very good right now, but come
No.
back when it's better.
Definitely when it's summer, we've got some of the best beaches in the world. Now, you're here basically promoting plus doing a bit of meet and greet for Star Trek Continues.
Yes.
Where you play Sulu.
Yes.
Now, such an iconic role. Everyone knows George Takei. How was it stepping into the shoes of that?
Oh my God. It was, for me, a tremendous responsibility. I mean, when I was first asked to do the role, how I got involved in it was Vic Mignogna, who's the executive producer, creator of this idea for continuing Star Trek. We were at a party, and he showed me pictures of the bridge, and he gave me his phone. He's like, "Yeah, check this out." I'm like, "Wow, that's really cool."
Yeah, it's impressive.
Said, yeah, we haven't cast Sulu yet. I'm like, oh. The wheels started turning in my mind. I said, if you need any help, just let me know. Anyway, I can help. And 2 days later, he called and said, "Grant, would you be my Sulu?" Yes.
Yeah.
And
cool.
it's really, as far as a role goes, I mean, I grew up watching George and watching him portray Sulu.
Yeah.
And it was a tremendous inspiration to me because, as a kid in the 70s, there weren't a whole lot of great Asian American role models on TV. And he was one of them. And it wasn't like he was a gangster or a kung fu guy or a drug dealer or anything like that. He was flying the Enterprise. I mean, this was a tremendous thing for a kid to look up to someone like that and to step into his shoes even more so.
Definitely. And I asked Vic and I asked the girls yesterday what the feeling was for them when the first time they walked on the bridge. What was it like for you? Because the sets are impressive, and just watching the show you can see how much detail they went, and they really nailed it.
All right, look. When you are 7 years old and you're around the neighborhood and you're playing with your friends and you've got a cardboard box and that's your bridge.
Yeah.
That was what it was like, except instead of a cardboard box, it was the world's most accurate reproduction of the bridge. And instead of wearing your yellow T-shirt, you're wearing an incredible replica costume. It's like I stepped into that world.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time I did this, it was like I could not stop smiling. Like there were takes where I had okay.
So you had a really fanboy moment.
I had an incredible fanboy moment. I would call it a nerdgasm.
Wow,
That's what it was.
Wow, okay. Well, yeah, the show's really impressive, and for anyone who wants to check it out, just jump on Star Trek Continues, Google it. It'll come up. It's all over there.
Yep.
And they premiered the 3rd episode at Perth Supanova and Sydney Supanova this year. You getting a good response from the fans?
Oh, I've done a lot of things in my career. Mythbusters, a lot of other independent projects. Star Trek Continues, more so than almost anything else that I've ever done, has gotten the highest amount of positive feedback, particularly with original series Trek fans who are notoriously difficult on fan productions. They're meticulous, and to get a vote of confidence from them, it's just tremendous.
Exactly. Now, moving from Star Trek, most of us know you from Mythbusters. We'll just ask one quick one about that. What's the favourite myth that you worked on? There must be one that you love more than any other.
I get that question. That's the number one question I get from everyone.
Yeah.
And usually what it is, it's the last big one that I worked on. That's the one that sticks in my mind. And for me right now, that is Tennis Wing Walk.
Yeah.
And it's based on a viral video. It's actually a commercial for a tennis racket company where two tennis pros are on either sides of a wing of an airplane. The airplane takes off, and then they start playing tennis, volleying back and forth. And
did you attempt to recreate that?
We wanted to. Discovery Channel would not let us get onto the wing of an airplane, wouldn't let us get onto the wing of an airplane in flight, let alone attempt to play tennis on the airplane of a wing and fly a plane. So it's like we had to come up with something that was a bit more creative.
Yeah.
And so instead of a real airplane wing, we built one that was a platform that was the same size.
Yeah.
And instead of flying it, we put it on the back of a flatbed truck and drove it at the correct speed. Because what we do is break down what are the elements that are most important to the myth. And that had to do with the airspeed, the wind flowing past that surface. And then we got up, and it was fairly tall. It was, maybe, I don't know, 7 to 10 meters.
Okay, yeah, that's tall.
And that's not something that you want to fall off of.
No.
And so we're strapped in, driving down this thing, and we've got the wind rushing past us, trying to volley back and forth. And I think that the scale of the epicness of that myth is what sticks in my mind.
Wow. Okay. Now, lastly, you worked on the prequel trilogy with Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
You worked for ILM.
Yep.
For any Star Wars fanboy, everyone knows what ILM is.
Yep.
You worked on R2-D2 primarily, is that correct?
R2 was one of my jobs there, one of my most memorable jobs there. But a lot of what I did was also miniature lighting. So within, we had some really large spaceship models, like the Federation.
Did you keep anything? Did you get to keep anything? No?
No,
Devastating.
I wish I had.
It's like Samuel Jackson has his lightsaber and all that.
Well, he's Samuel Jackson.
He
As a
played
model
Mace Windu.
maker,
Still.
you can't, you have to play by the rules.
Okay, well that's devastating.
But we had some, we had some huge models. I mean, 3-4 meters across, a giant model.
Yeah. Now, you're not going to be involved in the new ones at all?
I don't know. I haven't got any calls yet.
Okay. 'Cause
I'm available.
Are you intrigued? Are you intrigued about the new ones? Like, are you?
Oh yeah.
Like with JJ and Ryan Johnson just got announced
that's right.
he's doing
From Looper.
the other two. So it's a really interesting time. What do you want to see with the new ones? Like, do you want to see it like come back to the old guys, or do you want like Luke being like trying to recreate the Jedi Council, or?
It's hard because you don't necessarily want to see those same characters like really decrepit. Like in your mind, in my mind, they're still in their prime. Luke, Han, Leia, they're all in their prime. I don't know if I necessarily want to see them, my heroes, that old.
Yeah, I think if they do it right and they are like a background figure in the movie and they pop up here and there and do their thing, then definitely I think it would be great.
Yeah.
But we'll leave it at that. Thank you very much for chatting to us, and
right.
enjoy the rest of your time in Perth.
Thanks a lot.